Hi guys. So Chris and I are in this absolutely beautiful place in Santa Barbara. I just want to show you guys. This is our view. Can you see that? Isn't it spectacular? I feel so grateful and lucky. Happy holidays to everyone. I know that many holidays are coming up soon. And I hope that you all are taking the time to spend some time with your loved ones, your friends, and your family, and doing things to celebrate you and everything that you've been doing and everything you've accomplished this year. 2016 has been an interesting year, I think really amazing for some. And I think many people have had ups and downs, as I think every year should have. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about right now was something that actually Chris and I just got finished talking about because it was really coming up for both of us. And it's this idea of having faith that everything will work out and everything will happen. And all the things that you want to have happen and the things that you're setting up in your life will actually come to fruition. And I think a lot of people struggle with this because there's this idea of control. This thought that if you don't do everything to make everything in your life happen, how's it supposed to happen? I remember talking to someone years ago who asked me, so you don't believe that everything will just work out? And I was like, girl, you're crazy. I was like, are you serious? No, I don't believe everything's going to work out. If I don't do it, how's it supposed to work out? How is that just supposed to happen? And it isn't until years later that I realize how much of what we do in our lives is so much based on the what we want, the why we want it, but not the how is it going to happen. Because we can't determine how things are going to happen. For example, Tony Robbins talks about the fact that one year when he was making about 30 grand a year, he visited Fiji. And he was like, this is it. That's it. I want to have a house in Fiji. He had absolutely no idea how he was going to do that. And then 3 years later, I think it was, he owned an island in Fiji. And I can't even get over how incredible that is, just the intention. So the main idea here is that you definitely don't have to control everything in your life. You can't control everything in your life. You can't know how things are going to happen. You can't know how you're going to get from point A to point B. You can know what you want, but you can't know how it's going to happen. And I know that there are some people, because trust me, I was there, and I'm going to actually share a story with you about Chris real quick. But there's this thought process and this idea of, yeah, well, I've wanted things and I've tried for them and things haven't happened. Or I've been doing everything I think I should be doing and I'm still not getting that job I want, or having that relationship that I want to have, or making the kind of money I want to have, or selling that screenplay, or what have you. You have to know too that your intention has to be in the right place. So an example of this is Chris for a long time had jobs that he hated, absolutely despised, and he was miserable every single day. And he used to talk about, well, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing everything I can at this job. I'm doing everything that I possibly can be doing. I'm working hard. I'm trying to be of value, all these things, but nothing was working out. And he was going from job to job in different areas, still within the same industry, hating them all, going on interviews for new jobs in that same industry, hating it all. And it ultimately culminated in him being laid off from a particular job. And we were actually just talking about this today because I looked at him and I said, I think some years ago this wouldn't be so clear, but what I'm seeing now is you never had your intention on that job in the first place. You hated it the entire time. You never wanted to be successful in that industry. So it's no wonder why you weren't successful, why you weren't making the money that you wanted, why you weren't having the jobs, the positions, that career path that you wanted, because that's not what you actually wanted. You just wanted something more than you had at the moment. So don't forget that in this process of making things happen for yourself in your world, that you need to have your intention on actually what you want. You need to do the work there, right? For years, I was in a similar situation. Things were not the way that I wanted them to be. My life was not what I knew it could be, but I hadn't done the work to determine what is it that I really want? What is it that I'm really going for? What is it that's really important to me? I hadn't done any of that work. So it was just like, why isn't crap happening, right? That If I wasn't on social media, maybe I'd use a harsher word if I was talking to somebody in person. But why aren't these things happening for me? What's going on? What's wrong with the world? What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with the world. Know that you need to set an intention on something, that you need to be clear in what you want, and then know that you need to trust the process, that it will happen. I hope that going into 2017, this is something that might affect some of you and might make you think a little bit about where your intentions are, what you're thinking about in your life, where you're going. And I know this is a bit of a longer video than normal, but I really wanted to share. And I wish all of you a very, very happy and merry holiday season. And I'm sure that I'll be posting something and talking to you before 2017, but if I don't, or if we don't talk, then have a fabulous new year. And please comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And happy, happy, merry, merry, sending love to you all. Bye.